It is another Googancast. Welcome back. We've got two special guests with us today. We actually have three special guests with us.
Yeah, I'm special in a different way, though.
Yeah, not really that cool, but
These
he's
guys
special.
are. They're a lot cooler than me.
We've got Tyler. We've got Ben. Tyler actually just won the Googan boat, the first ever Googan boat presented by Favorite.
It is.
And Winston is the owner of Favorite, the man, the myth, the legend behind it all. So that's why Winston's here. And we're just going to pick these guys' brains, kind of.
That's your
Needed this. I do need this. Ben is Tyler's friend, and they're both into fishing. And what else? What do you guys want to talk about today?
I think we need to talk about fishing a little bit, but I mean, initial reactions on the boat.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the boat?
Well, the boat is awesome. Like, I've been looking at the model a little bit, and then, like, once I saw it, it looked way better than it did online. Like, I saw it with all the Favorite logos, and it looks really sick. I saw the rods, and you guys hooked me up with the rods, like, doubled my rod reel arsenal. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, when I first got the email that I won, Spencer said, hey, you won the boat. Did anybody tell you? I was like, who is supposed to tell me that I won the boat? You haven't announced anything.
It sounds like us.
And I was so confused. But I called Ben. It's like right after. I was in the middle of watching a movie, and I left and called Ben. I was freaking out, super pumped. He's like, it's not real. And then, like,
I said, calm down.
and then I was like thinking about it. I was like,
Screaming into the
okay,
phone.
this is probably somebody just messing with me. And then Spencer was like, no, it's real. And I was like,
And then,
all right, well, that's legit.
We had a little bit of bad communication, I guess, on who won the boat. It was kind of like we picked out the winner. We didn't know exactly how to contact him. You sent somebody an email saying, hey, you won a boat, and Spencer was handling it. And it's just like, luckily it all worked out. Tyler and Ben are from Missouri, so they drove down here to
From Joplin, right?
Yeah, from Joplin.
Northwest Dallas to where the boat was at. We picked the boat up this morning. We filmed a little video. If you guys haven't seen that, it's probably out on the channel. And so how did you get into fishing?
When I was I've been fishing since I was really little. My grandpa always took me out he had a boat, and we just go to local, like, Table Rock and stuff like that. And a little over a year ago, he passed away. He had already sold his boat. He had dementia really bad, so he sold his boat thinking I didn't want to fish with him anymore. So I was like, okay. But then, it was kind of all of a sudden he passed away. Then a couple of my grandparents passed away, and I recently bought a John boat last year. I got it for my birthday. And we never got it registered and licensed. So it's just sitting over there at my grandparents' house under an awning. But now, like, I have a bass boat. It's registered and licensed, ready to go.
You're ready to unleash. So, Stable Rock the Lake, is that
Yeah,
one of your favorites?
I haven't fished a lot on lakes. I did when I was younger. Like, we'd just go to docks and stuff, and I'd just go for a bluegill. But I recently, probably 3 or 4 years ago, I started fishing over bass, like, a ton. And that's, like, all I go for now is bass and trout. So.
Nice. How old are you?
I'm 17.
17.
17, wow.
I think I was your age when I got my first boat. I got an aluminum boat. Had like a 50 horse on the back. It's like 16 feet long. Probably real similar.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And that's when I started fishing lakes. And I started like fishing night tournaments and stuff like that. But really just learning lakes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a lot of fun. Like just going and trying to figure out the patterns, It's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different than, like, a farm pond. Like, one bait you can just go and throw every time, and you're going to catch a fish. If you throw by this log, you're going to catch a fish. But lakes, they move and migrate, and you got to know different baits to throw in.
Now you're going to be buying a whole bunch of baits.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
Now the addiction has started.
Yeah.
So, Ben, how did you get into fishing, and how long have you known Tyler for?
Oh, gosh. How long have I known you?
7th grade.
7th grade. Yeah, so when he first came, he came to our school. He was a little chubby kid. We all kind of picked on him a little bit. We got to be really good friends. And he's the one.
Yeah, we did.
So how do you become friends by making fun of somebody for being...
Hey, man, I don't really know. We went to
I grew out of the chubby face.
went to a church camp together, roomed together for that week, and then we just became really good friends. He actually got me into bass fishing. I grew up doing some trout fishing. My family and I went pretty often to some places around where we are to do some trout fishing, but he introduced me to some bass fishing, let me use his combos. Pretty crappy spinning combo that I started on, and but yeah, now we both love it. We go around mostly creeks and ponds right now, but about to tackle some lakes now.
Yeah.
Game has changed.
There you go.
Yeah, he's
Like-
gonna have to give you some of those rods and reels, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
a
gave
few.
him 4 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we split it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This
Good.
guy, man.
Yeah.
Good
Good
friend.
guy.
That's
Good
right.
guy.
It's a good bro.
That's cool.
That's right.
So, Winston, nobody's ever really talked about you, how you got started into fishing, or what, or do you even fish? Do you
No.
like to fish?
I've
What-
never been before. But
Never been.
I've thought about going. You know. What do you want to know, buddy?
Where did you start? How did you start? Grandparents?
fishing or
yeah, or
in
was
life?
it by yourself, or how
Yeah.
old were you?
Well, I'm a Missouri boy too, so you know where I live, as you know, is in the middle of nowhere.
Tickville.
It's we live in a big populated area of about 11 people in Rover, and so we live on a farm and grew up on a farm. And actually, my dad didn't fish. You know, he used to lie to me all the time and tell me there was no fish in the river and all this stuff. You know, true story. So we hunted all the time. So I always wanted to fish, and actually, my pastor took me fishing the
You're an
first
important
time.
guy over there.
Sometimes. And so that's when I went fishing the first time. So I learned 2 rules the first time I went fishing. I caught my first bass, and I made up my first fish story and lied about it, you know. So I tell this story. I'm telling the story. He gets me up at church, and I tell everybody I caught a 5-pound fish. I was probably, I don't know, 7 or 8, and it was about like Gary. But to me, it was a 5-pound fish, you know.
Yeah.
So that's when I got hooked on fishing, you know, and we fish every creeks and ponds and rivers, and you know, technique fishing like you're talking about in ponds. I mean, that same stuff is good, but you're practicing, you know, for fishing lakes, and it's I like to fish for whatever, you know, whatever's biting. I love bass, but I love saltwater. I have half my family in Florida, so we grew up on reds and trout, and you know, a lot of that type of fishing, and you know, some offshore stuff. I've fished big tournaments in Cabo for black marlin and blue marlin and tunas, and you know, done a lot of salt stuff, and we're actually working on some new rods now for salt, so some inshore rods, and got some of that little action coming out. So but yeah, that's a rough recap, Ricky.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So it seems like everybody kind of started off fishing ponds, fishing little rivers. You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
awesome way to start. If you guys don't know, like, anywhere to start fishing, just go to a local pond. You'll probably get kicked out, but maybe
If
you'll
your
catch
dad
some
lies
fish.
to you and says there's no fish, there probably is fish.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give it a
I
try.
fish in places that just look like little ditches on the side of the road that have
Yeah,
bass. Like,
drainages.
Yeah.
surprised me. Yeah. So bass don't need that much water. I mean, look at Gary. He's got a giant tank, but he could probably do with a little, you know, just a little bit of water over his back.
Jack put 4 bluegills in his sister's goldfish tank, you know, like a 10-gallon.
Really?
They lived for about a month.
What happened?
He turned them out in the pond.
Oh,
Well, he says he did, but you know Jack, he
no, he definitely did not.
probably fed them to the dogs. But anyway, yeah, I think it's cool, man. I'm glad that we got to do this for you guys, and you know, sorry it took a little longer. We were supposed to get to everybody faster, but you know, everybody that did, and I don't know how much we've covered this today, but we're going to try to do this boat giveaway. Like, what do we decide? 2 a year?
Yeah,
Like
we're
every
gonna
6
try and
months,
do
maybe.
2 next year.
So,
Just at the end of the year. That way we keep it simple. But we also
let
want
us know how we should do it. You know.
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
else you guys want to see?
Yeah.
We are still giving away rods every month to random winners, and you'll just get a random rod sent to you with the T-shirt, as well as I'm pretty sure we include like 20% off sometimes in some months.
Yeah, there were some bonus boxes, and then we did like I think we give away like, I don't know, several hundred like red and white colored rod socks.
we give rod socks away too. So random stuff will just be thrown into your T-shirt club. Did you win anything else, or was the boat the only thing?
Yeah, it was the boat.
Oh, got it.
Well,
Oh,
just the grand prize.
Yeah,
just
just the grand.
That's it.
I threw some extra rod socks in there for you too. so
Yeah, I
you
saw
should-
rod socks,
you
rods,
should be
reels. It was
good.
awesome.
So yeah, that's what the T-shirt subscription is about. We have a whole website set up that will give you like all the rules, everything behind what we're doing, so you can check that out below. What else you guys want to talk about? We still we got some time. Probably we dove into the first half of the podcast. Rob and Flair are going to be joining us here in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, I thought it'd be fun to share our best break-off story. I mean, you guys haven't been fishing too long, but you probably have maybe one or two fish that are like ingrained in your brains, like that one got away. Maybe it's not even a break-off. Maybe it's just gotten away. Those usually stand out in my mind even more.
Do you want to start it off, or you want them to start it off?
Are
you guys ready?
Yeah,
Start out.
Oh, he's ready. He's got it.
So me and my grandpa were fishing his brother's pond, and there's this tree that goes out over the water, and there's normally this bass that sits under the tree in the shade in the summer. So I had a little black and yellow plasma tail, and I walk out on the tree and I'm dipping it right in front of the bass, and I see it, and it goes over to it, and I set the hook, and the line just snapped at the hook, like I tied a bad knot or something, and I fell like back into the water over here on this other side, and was just sitting there. And
that's a Parrot moment for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that was on camera, that'd be gold.
Oh, that'd be really good.
How about you?
What about you, Ben?
Man, last summer, I just bought some of my first topwater frogs. So I was out at this farm pond, and it was super flooded. So I was like digging it through reeds and stuff. And I swear, it was the biggest fish I've ever hooked. But do you remember that?
No.
When I was screaming at you at the Toweries?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got one, and I'd only been fishing for bass not that long, like a year maybe. So I don't remember what I did. Probably something real stupid, jacking it around or whatever. But he jumped and I lost it, and I just wanted to, throw my rod and scream it was a 10-pounder or something. It was pretty.
I don't know
pretty
anybody
upset
that's ever
about
done
that
that.
I don't know anybody who's done that either.
I mean, yours is pretty one that stands out.
Oh yeah, it's just the most
I think
famous
a lot
one.
of people already know that one.
What are you
But
doing?
Walk us through. Maybe
Should we
somebody
play
hasn't
Should we
seen
play
it.
the clip real quick? Here we go.
I think so.
Yeah, throw the clip in.
Clip in now. Oh my god!
Relax.
Oh my god!
You're an idiot, dude.
That was a 10-pounder.
What were you doing?
That was a
How are
10-pounder.
you lifting
You
it?
should have grabbed him.
You're kidding me, dude. Are you insane? Don't blame that on me. You need to calm down. Don't blame that on me at all. That was not my fault. Just get up and fish. Get up and fish. What are you doing?
That was literally a 10-pounder.
That was dumb. You knew what you did was dumb.
I didn't do anything.
You
He
were
literally jumped. I
you were
didn't lift him there.
Okay, so there's nothing I could have done there. You
should've
know
just
that.
Boom.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that was enjoyable. We always have to, it's like every time it just starts to get away in the past, it just gets brought up again. But yeah, was that fish 10 pounds? I've said this before at meetups. Definitely not. It's probably a 6-pound bass, but it's definitely my biggest break off. I've lost a lot of fish and thrown a lot of tantrums, but that's probably the number one in my mind. Have you ever thrown a tantrum or got a good story about it?
I've thrown a few.
He's done a few.
Back before I had a GoPro strapped to my chest all the time. This one time I was fishing a pond, and I was fishing a frog. It was one of my first times fishing a hollow body frog too. I was like, man, this thing looks good. I tie it on, and I'd heard about this loop knot. It gives it more action, side to side. So I tied a loop knot. I cast it down the bank, and I wasn't really sure what a frog bite really looked like. All of a sudden, just paused it. Toilet bowl flush. Couldn't even believe it. I set the hook, and my line just comes back. I'm like, what happened to the fish? What's going on? And I look at my line, at the end of my line, and the knot is still tied. I'm like, what in the world just happened? So then I did a little research. I found out that those frogs, not all of them have a
Full circle hook.
full circle
Yeah.
that goes all the way around. So what happened with braid, this is like one of my first times fishing braid, because I heard you got to fish frog on braid. It slipped through that little crack right there, and when I set the hook, came all the way back. And anyway, I remember that one. That was a long time ago, and it was a huge topwater, one of the biggest topwater strikes I've ever had. So now I make sure that little gap is closed. Yeah.
Don't buy those hooks.
Yeah. I've got a bunch.
Winston-
We don't have enough time for it.
Oh, you got more? You got a bunch?
I've got.
I think I
got
know
many
one of
more.
Winston's. I heard about this one when him and was it Mason and Rob? We were at that small lake over here. Remember that? Threw some tantrums there.
Oh, on
There
tantrums.
was a lot.
you were there.
I was
If we're
there.
talking
Oh.
about tantrums. I mean, there was a lot of tantrums that day, but it was heavy on the Rob.
Heavy on the Rob tantrums.
Yeah.
Rob does throw some tantrums off camera sometimes.
Not very often, but he's.
No, like I've seen him do
It
it
was-
like one or two times.
What happened there was just a lot of things going on that day.
That was also when that was the day I started getting headaches.
Yeah.
Had a tumor, and then
That's right.
Oh,
that's
that
right.
was that day.
It
that
was
was
like-
that day.
It,
And
Yeah,
you
you're
left early.
and you text me and you're like, I remember that.
Yeah,
No,
it was
that
not
the
good.
Same trip.
You had to
was a lot
sit
of-
down, right, on the
Yeah.
boat. Yeah.
Bad deal. No, the most recent big fish I lost that it was really a heartbreaker was in the Amazon. That giant peacock on that spinnerbait.
Oh my! I remember this one.
That
Like
was,
clear as day. I had just the angle looking at Tucker, and
yeah, you can.
I'll set it up, and you could just
Yeah, we
come
could probably
in,
show that clip of us. throwing
yeah,
a pretty good tantrum.
we could. If we
Because
got
it-
it, let's roll on that one.
Hello, Otter.
Oh no! Holy cow, that was a monster. That one absolutely.
So anyway, what happened was they said we could not catch a peacock on a big spinnerbait. Well, Rackley and I decided that we could. So we had one. Was it an ounce? 1 ounce.
It was no, it was like a Jimmy Houston model.
That's right.
Yeah, it was
we threw
something-
some props out to Jimmy on.
It was like a half or 3/4 or something. It was tasty looking.
Yeah. So right off that point, it dropped and she hit it on the fall. I don't know how big it was, but our guide went nuts. I know we was throwing 80-pound braid, right?
You were, yeah.
And I broke at my thumb on the spool. It went. Zzz.
I mean, you can hear it. The sound. It was just like, zzz, pow, like an explosion.
So
Every
loud.
other fish we had was kind of like, oh, there's a good one. Oh, okay, okay.
And
And,
I
then
mean,
a little drag would
And
strip.
we caught. I don't know how many over 10. I mean, but 17s, 15s, 19s. My biggest peacock's at 23, and it didn't even jumpstart this fish. I don't know. It may not have been a peacock. We are in the Amazon, but
Could have been
whatever
Dolphin.
it was,
Dolphin.
I don't
I
think
don't
a
know.
dolphin would bite a spinnerbait.
I don't think so. I don't think they bite
They're
lures
pretty
in
weird.
general.
They're pretty
They're
weird.
weird.
That's a weird.
Were they
dog.
eating
But-
your fish?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're big on eating peacocks. And then I had one where I lost a tournament in Cabo. That was a saltwater trip. We was in second place, and I had a tuna gill wrap, and it was colored up, and it would have been the fish to win, and it was worth about $200,000. We go to gaff it, and I'm on the rod pulling it up, and boom. We're trying to get it, and it just kind of goes.
There was probably a few words in that moment. I can imagine.
Couldn't imagine.
You know,
what was
really
said.
there wasn't. I just sat there and I was so exhausted and so like dumbfounded. I was just like,
Just in awe.
yeah, I should have jumped in. Hindsight 2020. You know,
And just grabbed it.
just grabbed it with a gaff because it was already beat down.
was
you know,
done.
it was color up. I don't know. We took second. Almost got enough money back to pay for our diesel.
Wow.
Anyway, two
Those are
heartbreakers.
good.
That was a good story.
I kind of like these. I think we should continue
Continue?
these like in a series, maybe every month or something.
The one that
Yeah.
The heartbreak stories,
Especially the ones on
heartbreak series.
camera.
Yeah.
We could do a whole series of the ones we have on camera. I lost
like
a big
that.
fish in the Amazon at the boat.
I remember that.
It's a cool clip. We should
Yeah.
play that clip right
No.
now. Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Use it! Broken line. That's a big boy.
But I was working my chopper right next to the boat and fish annihilated it. Seth hook and just exploded braid.
I think was you with me that day? I missed another big fish right at the water in the Amazon when it was chasing those.
No,
big
I
fish.
wasn't with you. You
That
told
was-
me. You
that
told me
was-
about it. It was you saw it on the beach.
Yeah, it was like beaching these. I don't know what they were.
They look like little pink hot dogs jumping out of the water. I don't
Yeah,
know
it was
what
like
they
a
were.
weird
They're like little flying
tropical.
fish.
Yeah, but anyway,
Well, in 3, I'm gonna disappear, and Rob and Flair are gonna appear right here in 3, 2.
Hey, we're back.
Hey guys, how's it going? I missed you.
And look at that. Well,
This
just Flair.
magic moment.
This is Flair. That's me. Yeah, that's what they call me.
You replaced.
Just heard a hilarious story. You guys gotta tell. You got a farm animal.
Oh yeah.
Explain.
Yeah.
Since
so-
he left.
Yeah.
Right.
since-
Yeah, Parrot's
gone.
not here anymore, but my family recently bought 2 little pygmy goats. Pygmy goats, and we were talking about what we're gonna name them, and I said we should name one Parrot. So now we got a little mini charcoal colored pygmy goat running around named Parrot. So it's,
Do you
It's pretty
remember?
funny.
Do you remember that?
Does it
Was
make a
y'all
lot
at
of
my
noise?
house whenever Parrot got down on his knees and tried to headbutt
Yeah.
my goat?
Yeah.
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 And catch a
And
chicken.
it knocked,
Horn
knocked-
to head combat.
That really like they butted heads.
Like he would
Like-
go, he would like grab onto him and like go down, and then it started like coming
Yeah.
after him and stuff. It was good. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So is that goat pretty noisy?
yeah, he's
They'll
in
scream.
trouble.
Pretty
They're-
Yeah, he
obnoxious.
screams.
They're pretty loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he throws tantrums?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty high
They-
maintenance.
Finally got it moved outside. You don't have to bottle feed them anymore.
That's right.
So they can take grain and they're out in a big pen outside.
Yeah.
Kind of like
much
Parrot.
Just fresh off the bottle.
We
yeah.
just got him off the. He's almost weaned.
Yeah. He's getting there.
It's a good
That's
name.
funny. Parrot.
Parrot's
It's a good name for. It's a good name.
Well, we had a little Flair. We had a little break off or fish escape stories going on,
Okay.
and so we gotta hear from you. What's your best getaway? Your fish getaway or break off
Mm.
that you can think of.
Well, I got 2 come to mind. One's a break off. One's a just comes off. So the most recent one, which you guys may or may not have seen, is the one in Mexico with my buddy Jesus. Me and him, the parrot looking one.
The one,
right?
the one I love.
Yeah.
Twin.
Love you, Jesus. But
He taught me how to fish.
we yeah, I mean I had a good fish, Mondo. I don't know, 6-7 pounder probably. Come up, and Wes was actually behind the camera during this, and I lifted it up, and I think it hit the net and it broke, and I about went full Parrot mode. Because I was competing against, who was I competing against in that tournament? I think it was Rob.
Oh, that's right.
I was competing against Rob in a tournament and it was like the MTV tournaments. So I got a little frustrated. Yeah, that was
Well,
one for the
let's
books.
take a learning lesson here. Step back and talk about what the dude Jesus stabbed at the fish.
He
That's
didn't,
what
he
happened.
didn't quite stab it. He could have been, if he was a little bit more agile, I think he could have
or if he
caught
was
the fish.
started at, under
Scooping
the fish
motion.
Yeah.
instead of the
Basically he had the net fixed and it came up and broke off, and he just kind of let it, he could have easily just nudged
Turned
it
the
and
net
caught the
this
fish
way.
with the net. So it's a lot to ask, but it was doable. It wasn't like when Parrot was like, John, why didn't you grab that 10 pounder that was 6 feet away? It wasn't one of those. It was an actual reasonable request. But I wasn't gonna roast Jesus. I was like, it happens. I mean, what are you gonna do? He didn't know it was gonna happen. So
But very memorable.
yeah, it was very memorable. And the other one was 2015. I had one where I was fishing the spawn, catching biggest fish of my life in the local lakes I live in, and got a little cocky, and because I had 3 or 4 or 5 pound bass, which is pretty big. I'm throwing a frog and it crushes it, and I'm bringing it in, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna boat flip this one. So it comes, and I just go just straight up, and it comes up, and I just rip the frog right out of its mouth, and it goes down, and then I went face first into the bottom of my boat and just pouted there like Parrot did. Yeah.
Just went.
There's
full
a video
down.
of it. Yeah, there's a video of it out there. I can find it. Yeah, just me, 15-year-old, or no, I guess I was probably 17. Yeah, just being real stupid, you know.
What lesson did you learn there?
Don't try to boat flip a 6 pounder, I guess. I mean, you can, but I don't know.
Not advised. Doesn't
Not
always
if
work
you
out.
can help it. Yeah, it looks cool. If I would have landed it, it would have been the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah, you could
But
have dubstep
Then I just
to
looked
that.
like an idiot, and yeah, I started,
Mix it up.
yeah, stupid. But yeah, that's that. Mm-hmm.
I got one more.
More
story.
break-off stories?
Well, they're starting to come back to me now. Seems like I've got more losing fish stories than I do big fish catch. Back when the chatterbait came around, that was a game changer.
Oh yeah.
Everybody remembers.
Oh yeah, it's a game changer. Oh yeah.
Come on.
Chatterbaits,
Game changer.
It was good.
pond bait for sure.
They catch big ones, and great in the spring. And I was putting these swim baits on the back, and I was just catching so many big fish. It was really good. And there was this one point on the lake, this is on Lake Fork, where the these big bass would come like pre-spawn, post-spawn. They'd all kind of stack up there on this grass point. And I was slow rolling it, and fish latches on. I knew it was a good fish. It just felt like heavy. I started slowly. I'm like, this fish it's not fighting into the grass or anything. This is kind of weird. And I start just kind of catching up with it. And this is back before they had like 8-to-1 gear ratio reels. You know, everything was like 6 to 7 maybe was the highest.
3.
Yeah. So it's coming, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I can get like good pressure on it, comes up. It's like a 12. It's giant.
Jeez.
And I had at the time 9 pounder was my biggest, and I could see it was fat, had a huge head, and I could see the bait just in its mouth.
Can you see it like right now?
Oh, I can. Yes, it's one of those. It's one of those, like, just have it in my mind. Then it goes down. Then I'm freaking out. Like, when you know how big the fish is, that's when you freak out. So I start doing the Iaconelli deal and running around screaming. And instead of, like, going off to the side and jumping more, it just goes back down and just starts going and going. And I hadn't had, like, any big fish fighting experience besides, like, 1 or 2, you know. Mm-hmm. So it goes under the boat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? The trolling motor's right here, and I can't go this way. So I'm just like under here, like trying to keep the line from hitting the boat, and I just hear behind me, and I look back, and this thing is like 20 feet on the other side of me, jumping. And that's when it really starts jumping, because I'm not giving it drag, and that's when it like really fills the pool, you know. And it comes up 3 times, and it flew off on the 3rd one. And I hit my knees.
Yeah.
I hit my knees. And I just did one of those.
Yeah.
For just like 5 minutes.
That's what makes you go back and go fishing, though.
It does.
Yeah.
The one
That's
that got
exactly
away.
Fuels the addiction. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, there's more of those. We'll have to do more of these. I like this.
Yeah. It's good.
It's a good venting session too.
Yeah. Reminisce. Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, that's it, huh?
It's time.
One and done. We're gonna wrap this baby up. But so you guys like the boat?
Love it.
Oh, love it.
Pretty excited.
We're gonna be on it most of summer until I leave.
So your guys' closest lake is Table Rock, or where's your closest?
Maybe
lake?
Grand Lake. But
Grand Lake of the Cherokees.
Yeah.
I'll be there in like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Tournament or?
Paddle fishing.
Really?
Yeah. You wanna come?
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm down. You guys might see these guys in some of my videos, but yeah, I'm serious. I'll be there in 2 weeks. I'm totally game. Well, folks, we're ready to wrap her up.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah. Congrats, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.
Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Opportunity like none other. Like, there's nobody else giving away a bass boat.
No, we're trying to change the world one
The future of fishing.
free bass boat
It
at
is.
a time. When you sign up for the T-shirt club,
Yeah.
so
Hey,
That's
hey,
right.
game changers.
$15 a month.
There you go.
That's cheapest bass boat.
So
you
how
can
many?
get.
So I guess I was gonna ask you that. How many shirts did you end up getting?
Oh, I probably have 8 to 10 shirts.
Okay, so
I've
you got
I've
the
been
majority
on it
of
for a
them.
while, Yeah.
So, like we were talking about earlier, the more shirts you have, the more entries you get. Each shirt you get is one entry.
One entry, yeah.
So, like, he had 8 to 10, so he had 8 to 10 entries out of however many entries that there were. And he was a lucky winner. So, everything will be linked down below. If you guys want to try it out yourself, who knows, you might win a boat. We might give away 2, right? I'm thinking 2. I think
2, yeah.
I think we're going to give away 2 boats.
And a bunch more rods.
Yeah, we'll make it even bigger. We'll at least double everything for next year. Maybe more. We'll see. Anyways, we're gonna take off. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Googancast. Peace.